Let's get this other call from Uyu. Philip is calling in. Hello, Philip. Philip, are you there?
Hello?
Hello, Philip from Uyu.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm hearing you.
Yes, go right ahead, Philip.
What I'm suggesting is that one, if there's any increase in salary, they should not be publishing it. Hello?
Go ahead, Philip. Are you still there, Philip?
They should not be publishing it in the network. So that, when they're publishing the network, I'm hearing you.
Yes, yeah, we're listening to you.
Then they will increase the business, they will increase their businesses.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Philip. He ties the announcement of, of wages to inflationary trend. But there are lots of people who have debunked that and said, look, there are sectors in the Nigerian economy that are paid out huge sums. That hasn't affected it.
That's true.
I mean, take for instance, a lot of money goes around in politics. That has not
affected prices.
So how?
Absolutely. I need to tackle one issue about inflation. What we have in Nigeria is called stagflation. And that is the most complicated form of inflation. And all the inflationary factors are active in Nigeria. We have demand-pull inflation. And because 33 trillion was printed, and that money has nothing to do with productivity, and so you are actually paying inflation tax for having that huge sums that are being sucked away. You have structural inflation because you have energy prices jumping up, you have electricity going up, you have transportation costs in consequence going up. So all the input manufacturers need and consume have gone up. That is cost push inflation. You have imported inflation because we are still, our appetite to import has not abated. We are still an import-dependent economy with a forex that you've seen how it is playing out, is imported inflation. And then the last one my colleague keeps on talking about is what I call cross-border demand pull inflation. What it is that 10 years ago, I'm from ECOWAS Commission. We usually carry our naira to all parts of ECOWAS, and 1 naira buys 3 francs CFA. But now, 1 naira buys you 0.7, which means 80% devaluation of the money of naira compared to the. If they have this kind of devaluation, that Nigerian things are 8 times cheaper. Why would they don't need to go to farm anymore. They just buy your food, dry it, and export it. It's cheaper for them. And even if you double the price of that food, they will still buy it because it's like being 40% cheaper instead of 80% cheaper. But Nigerians cannot afford our food at those 7 frontier states because the moment you add transportation costs and bad road, taking you 3 days to bring it down to the south, the price will be out of this world. How can you stop it? There's nothing you can do except to focus on producing more and processing at world level. Because ECOWAS Treaty says free movement of goods, and we're signatory to the treaty. We're even the chairman of the ECOWAS. We couldn't do that.
Can I add?
Yes, please.
Inflation, according to Milton Friedman, arguably the greatest monetary economist, inflation is always monetary in nature. Of course, structural factors and other factors exacerbate that. But if you look at it critically, like what happened in 2024, the central bank was very hawkish in its stance and aggressively hiking interest rates, but there was a disconnect because the more they were hiking rates, the more money supply was climbing. So there is a disconnect somewhere. And some of us feel it's because the fiscal side and the monetary side are working at cross purposes. They are not actually synergizing because no matter how aggressively you pursue contractionary monetary policy, if the fiscal side is expansionary, they will cancel it eventually. So there's a disconnect. And the monetary factor is there because money supply reached unprecedented levels last year. So that is fueling inflation, apart from the structural factors.